Hey everyone, what is going on? So first I want to give a huge shout out to my friend and original battle partner JOKES311. You definitely know him. And he suggested this team. He's been doing really well with it. So I went ahead and tried it, and I had really good success with it as well. Out of my 5 games, my 5 sets, I went 4-1 3 times, 3-2, and then I had a bad set. I went 2-3. So overall, I did really well with this team. Now the problem is, I know you all know, but Ancient Power was recently nerfed, right? So it's not going to be as good. So now I'm not sure how this team would work with Giratina. Do you switch out Ancient Power for Shadow Sneak, or do you go with a different Pokemon entirely? But these battles were done like a day before that, so but either way, this is the team we're using: Swampert, Armored Mewtwo, and Giratina. And Armored Mewtwo, as you'll see in this video, is fantastic. It gets walled by very little Pokemon. Not many things can really stand up against it. It's so bulky. I mean, I guess like Giratina Origin form obviously would do a lot of damage. That was recently nerfed with Ominous Wind, by the way, but I don't see that too much. And then Cresselia resists all of its moves besides Earthquake, but I don't use Earthquake. I use Strike and Dynamic Punch, which I think is the most common moveset on Armored Mewtwo. But yeah, anyway, Armored Mewtwo was not nerfed. It was just the Giratina with Ancient Power. So you could still definitely make a team with Armored Mewtwo. So we have a Lickilicky that comes in, and I don't think I've actually ever faced a Lickilicky. I know that, you know, people have had success with it, which is great. It's a fantastic Pokemon, but I personally don't think I've seen one. But we're going to go ahead and go for the Side Strike against the Lickilicky. I thought it would knock it out, but it actually doesn't. So he will get off a charge attack against me. Going to be that Body Slam, but Armored Mewtwo is such a beast, it can take it. In comes that Swampert, hoping to get one but Side Strike. We cannot, but he has to use his energy, his Hydro Cannon, to knock us out. So at least we take his energy. So he's back down to probably 0 energy. Bringing in that Giratina. Gonna go ahead and go for Dragon Claw, right? Yeah, Dragon Claw. Yeah, Dragon Claw. We're gonna go for it. And we do have a Dragon Breath variant. This is the variant Jokes is also running. I do like it. Again, I might try the same team, but I might go with Shadow Sneak instead of Ancient Power. We'll see. But Ancient Power, the boost, definitely has helped me in this video. And you could actually beat Reggie Steele after the boost, whereas you're not going to be able to beat it before, right? So, yeah, it's pretty interesting. Let me know what you guys think. But we're going to knock out Swampert and take the win with Giratina. Very close game, though. Very good game. So let's go ahead and begin the next match with Swampert against an Articuno. So pretty interesting match. Now, the way I like to play this is I'm going to immediately go for my Hydro Cannon right off the bat, because we know that likes to Icy Wind and lower our attack. So obviously I know the shield is going to come because our attack has not been lowered yet. So it's going to be lowered now, obviously, with Icy Wind. I'm just going to go ahead and take it. Even if we shield it, our attack is still lowered, so I might as well just take it. I'm charging up. I do go for the Hydro Cannon. I guess I could have switched out, but I didn't want him to Icy Wind like my Armored Mewtwo that came in. So I'm just going to go ahead and go for Hydro Cannons. We are debuffed, but it's still doing okay damage. And at least we have a shield on him, right? So he's going to go ahead and looks like he's going to commit to the Farm Down, which allows us to get off another Hydro Cannon. So I will go for that, and he's almost done. He's going to have to use his energy if he wants to knock us out. Actually, he probably could have farmed us down, but that was probably a CMP tie. Anyway, we're going to bring in Armored Mewtwo. He does have another Icy Wind, which is going to lower Mewtwo's attack. Now, Armored Mewtwo is not really known for its physical strength, right? It doesn't really do a lot of damage. But it's really tanky, so our attack is just debuffed even further. But I do pull the switch to reset that debuff into my Dragon Breath variant of Giratina. Going for the boost. In that situation, I obviously could have went for Dragon Claw, but I just went for Ancient Power. He's going to go ahead and now he has his shiny Reggie Steele out. Going to hit me with Flash Cannon. One more Flash Cannon should do it. I am going to go ahead and go for the boost. Last minute attack strength, maybe, if we can get it. Let's see if we can. We cannot, but we're just going to continue on until we can do as much damage as possible. I actually get to another Dragon Claw before he's able to get to a Flash Cannon, so a little bit of extra damage, I'll take it. I switch into my Armored Mewtwo, trying to go for that Dynamic Punch, but he does get off a Flash Cannon before I'm able to. Totally fine, because we get it off now. And he still has a shield, doesn't he? I believe he still has a shield. He does, so he's going to go ahead and shield that. Switching into Snorlax to go for a charge attack. I risk it, and it's only going to be a body slam, so that's good for us. But it's not good that he has another one, so I am going to go ahead and shield this one up. This is a Shadow Snorlax, by the way. And Lick's doing a lot of damage. We're going to go ahead and go for that Side Strike to try and knock out the Shadow Snorlax, not Shadow Mewtwo. In comes Reggie Steele, and unfortunately, no, he gets to a Flash Cannon. He was close to it. Going to be able to knock out Armored Mewtwo. We have my Giratina. Can we get to the Dragon Claw? Can we get to the Ancient Power? We got to the Dragon Claw, but I didn't click on it. It wouldn't have knocked him out anyway, so he's going to be able to take this one. So that's totally cool. I thought we were in a pretty good position, but he does go ahead and win it. So well played on my opponent's end. So let's jump into another game, Swampert versus Reggie Steele. Now I do see a lot of Reggie Steele leads, which is another reason why I like to lead with my Swampert. It's a really good lead, charging up a lot of energy. He does go for a charge attack. I'm going to let this go through. Focus Blast we could take. It is a Focus Blast. As you can see, we could take it. And I charge up a little bit of extra energy to make sure he is not going to bail and try to catch the Earthquake with something else. Doing a lot of damage. And we get to another Hydro Cannon, and this is going to be able to knock out that Reggie Steele if he does not shield. He does not. So goodbye Reggie Steele. Out comes Venusaur, and I'm just going to go and try to get to the Hydro Cannon, not able to do it. I could have switched out, but that's okay. So I have Giratina, which resists both moves from Venusaur, so I'm going to bring that in. I guess I could have put an Armored Mewtwo, start chipping away with Confusion, but I felt like bringing in Giratina because, as I said, we do resist the moves. He is going to go ahead and get off another Frenzy Plant, but that is okay. Frenzy Plant, not really doing that much. It is adding up, but we're still able to take it. By the way, guys, I don't know if I mentioned it, but this is quite a lengthy video. I think it's about 40 minutes. Well, actually, I think it's closer to 50 minutes. Regardless, we got the boost with Giratina. So Ancient Power definitely pulling through. He is going to go ahead and shield. He actually has an Alolan Muck in the back, which would do really well against Giratina and Armored Mewtwo. So obviously I'm going to go ahead and shield these Dark Pulses. And if I didn't get that boost, he more than likely would have won because he would have been able to knock out my Giratina. He would have been able to knock out my Armored Mewtwo, doing a lot of damage with Dark Pulse. So I'm just going to go ahead and shield this one up. Going to be another Dark Pulse, totally fine. Trying to get to that Dragon Claw, and we do successfully get to it. So because of that buff, Giratina is just able to handle the Alolan Muck. And in comes that Venusaur, and we could just knock it out with Dragon Breath. So the boost from Ancient Power did save us, but that's definitely good for us. So next matchup, it is going to be a Swampert Mewtwo match. So let's see how my opponent decides to play this out. Let's see if they want to go straight Hydro Cannon. They're charging up, so am I. So I'm going to go ahead and charge up enough for 2 Hydro Cannons, and we do get one off right now. So that Hydro Cannon doing a decent amount of damage. He's going to get one off, or an Earthquake. Let's see what he goes for. Probably a Hydro Cannon. It is. So we're able to take it, and we get off another one. So this is going to be enough to knock out that Swampert, unless if he decides to shield, which he does. So he's going to get one off against me, so I'm going to go ahead and shield this one as well. Now my Swampert for the Ultra League doesn't really have the best PvP IV, so because of that, usually I win CMP ties when it comes to Swampert, so I am going to win it again into Hydro Cannon, and I pull the switch into Giratina, hoping to catch the Hydro Cannon, and then after he brought in his Clefable, I was like, maybe that wasn't the greatest idea, but let's see how it plays out. So we're going to go ahead and just try for the boost. I don't know if it necessarily would even matter. I guess it would matter because the Dragon Breaths are adding up. So we're going to go for another Ancient Power right now. And that will not give us the boost. That was actually a really close matchup. But we do fall, and I know that Clefable has energy. But we're still up a shield, so let's see if we could do something. Swampert comes in, and this is going to be enough to knock me out, so I will go ahead and shield it. Going to be that Meteor Mash, totally fine. I do switch into my Armored Mewtwo. I do want to save up my energy, so I am able to feint that Clefable with just Confusions. And out comes that Swampert. I'm going to be able to take an Earthquake or a Hydro Cannon. It's going to be an Earthquake. Armored Mewtwo is so tanky, it can take it. Out comes Venusaur. When I saw Venusaur, I was like, no way. No way we're going to be able to get off the Side Strike against a Venusaur. Now, it actually doesn't knock it out, so one more Confusion should have done it, but he's able to get to a Frenzy Plant. I'm like, What? No way. But he's so low, one Mudshot's going to be able to knock him out, and we're going to be able to go for this Hydro Cannon and take the win. Luckily, I had the energy saved up with my shiny Swampert to be able to pull that one off. But yeah, I can't believe that Venusaur got off. I don't know if I lagged a little bit, but that Venusaur, I feel, shouldn't have gotten off that Frenzy Plant. But either way, we're going to be able to pull that one off. So I lead with Swampert into Giratina Origin. Okay, so I did mention Giratina Origin. Its Ominous Wind attack was recently nerfed, which is true. It was. So I don't know how many people are going to be running it now. You could run it with, I believe it also has Dragon Pulse. So I think you can go Dragon Pulse, Shadow Ball. I think you could do that, and I think it would still be okay. But Ominous Wind people are probably not going to use. It's going to take longer to get to. So that Giratina will go ahead and shield up. We do get to another Earthquake. My opponent may have lagged a little bit, but we're able to get to the Earthquake. It looked like they did lag a little bit. Earthquake will go off, and it's going to just farm me down. So I do know that Giratina has energy. Unfortunately, couldn't feint it with just the Dragon Breath attack, but that's okay. I will go ahead and shield. It's going to be that Ominous Wind. I thought maybe he had enough for a Shadow Ball, so I'll be able to feint down afterwards. So let's see what happens. Let's see what comes in. Going to be a Reggie Steele. So I'm going to go ahead and switch into Armored Mewtwo. I didn't want to risk going for the boost, but it looks like, yeah, my opponent's lagging again, but we're able to get to the Dynamic Punch and trying to do as much damage as possible against this Reggie Steele. It will be shielded, and then the switch comes in. Going to be that Swampert. So either my opponent lagged, maybe they didn't, and they were just trying to switch. I don't really know. But either way, we get to the Scythe Strike, and that is going to do a good amount of damage. We just need one more. Maybe I could try and farm down. Now it looks like my opponent's lagging again. So I guess they were having bad internet connection. I'm not really sure. So I do apologize to my opponent for that, but that's Go Battle League for you. So we're going to be able to feint down with Confusion and go for the Dynamic Punch. And the camera zooms in on my Mewtwo. I really hate that. Like, I really wish you could honestly see what came in. Now, I knew it was going to be the Reggie Steele, but it's just still a little bit annoying, you know? I don't know. But either way, I have my Giratina out. That Reggie Steele is very low. It's not going to be able to knock out Giratina. It can't get off enough Flash Cannons, and even if it could, we still have that Armored Mewtwo in the back, so my opponent will leave that match. So, good game. Good game. So, let's see. We're going to go up against my next opponent. Some of you had been asking about Voyager Cup videos, and I'm gonna get some out. Sometimes it's been a little bit difficult for me because I've been working like every day or all day, like all week, and sometimes it's difficult to find people to play at certain times. So it's easier to just jump onto the Go Battle League to record. But I do enjoy the Voyager Cup, so I do want to get videos out of that. So gonna be a Dragon Claw. That's totally fine. Going to be what I assume to be another Dragon Claw. Swampert can still take this because Dragon Claw is not a powerful move. It's a good move, it's just not a powerful move, and we do go for that Earthquake. This does about 50% to Giratina, so that will go through. And now another Dragon Claw is going to come out from Giratina. I'm going to let it go. I'm satisfied with what Swampert did. We took a shield and did a lot of damage, so I'm going to bring in my own Giratina. This Dragon Claw is going to come out. I'm going to let it go through. Yeah, going to be a Dragon Claw, of course, but we're going to be able to feint down with Dragon Breath. And now let's see what my opponent decides to bring in. Going to be a Charm User, so I'm going to bail immediately, and so do they, into Empoleon. So I'm like, okay, well, if we get off the Dynamic Punch, this will be huge for us. So I go straight for it. You know, I wasn't going to go for the bluff. This should knock out the Empoleon, but it does go shielded. So we just need to get one more. I do have two shields. I'm going to commit one right now to block this Hydro Cannon. We could have taken it, but I didn't want to. So, can we get to it? We get to it, but unfortunately he's fastest, so I'm going to use my second shield. Maybe I should have taken it. I'm not really sure. But that's okay because we do go for the Dynamic Punch, expecting to knock out the Empoleon. As it does knock out Empoleon. In comes Clefable, trying to get to a Scythe Strike. Can we get to it? This is not going to be enough, guys. This is not going to be enough to knock out that Clefable, but it's going to do a decent amount of damage. And then I switch and go for Ancient Power with my Giratina. And I thought this was going to be enough. It actually wasn't, but what was it? I don't know. One more Dragon Breath was enough to knock it out. Either way, we do go ahead and win that one. So really good game. Really good game. So let's go ahead and see what happens now. Swampert versus Clefable. So, okay, most Swamperts don't carry Sludge Wave, but I was going to charge up enough energy for a Sludge Wave or for an Earthquake anyway to bluff it. They switch, perhaps trying to catch it. I got ready to switch, but I'm like, no way. So they're actually running double Charm uses. Did you notice that? We have Clefable and Togekiss, and I feel like that's really risky because Reggie Steele is all over the place. I also see Melmetal as well. But, hey, it's good against my team, right? I mean, we don't have a Steel type. So I bring in Mewtwo to finish off the Togekiss. So is it going to be the Clefable that comes in? Let's find out. It is that Clefable. So definitely don't want to go for that Dynamic Punch. We're just going to go straight Psy Strike. Going to do a good amount of damage that will be shielded. So at least we took a shield. Wow, look at this Charm damage. Definitely doing a good amount of damage. I feel like double Charmers could work. You just have to watch out for the Reggie Steele. So maybe double Charmers and something that would beat Reggie Steele on the team, right? That seems pretty good. Maybe Poliwrath, maybe Toxicroak. So that seems like a pretty good team, honestly. Because Charm's just doing a lot of damage. Obviously not to Reggie Steele, but yeah. So we're going to bring in Giratina. I am going to go ahead and shield this one up. All we have to do is Dragon Breath down this Clefable. That will be Meteor Mash. And we do Dragon Breath it down. It was super low. Out comes Charizard. And when I saw Charizard, I was so excited because we have the Ancient Power, which I 100% expect to knock out Charizard in one hit, as it does. We got the boost. That boost obviously didn't matter, but it was just funny that we got it. So we are going to go ahead and win that one. So now we're battling rank 10 player. So the rank 10 player, they don't have 3,000 points. They obviously got to rank 10 and then fell below, which is fine. So I lead Swampert into Poliwrath. So I am going to go ahead and switch out into Mewtwo. And look at my opponent. They, I guess, think about it and they decide not to switch. They decide to use an Ice Punch, which is perfectly fine. Mewtwo could take it. They do switch now into Swampert. But we built up more energy, so we're able to go ahead and get off these Psy Strikes. And Swampert is really not even a great counter to Mewtwo anyway. I mean, Hydro Cannon, I guess, is doing decent damage. But it's just not a great counter, right? Like Cresselia would be. Earthquake is actually going to do a good amount of damage. But we do get to a Psy Strike, and I'm expecting to knock out the Swampert or take a shield, one or the other. We do take a shield, totally fine. So now I figure I'm going to block this incoming Hydro Cannon, and then I can feint the Swampert with Confusions and have energy for whatever is in the back. So beautiful situation for me. Armored Mewtwo is really a safe switch. It really is. So we see another Charizard. We go for Psy Strike. This is definitely not going to be enough to knock out Charizard, but it's going to do a lot of damage. He does feint me down, but look how much damage that Charizard took. I bring in my Swampert. In comes that Poliwrath. I'm switching immediately into my Giratina. Yes, he has Ice Punch, but Giratina is such a bulky beast. It's able to take them. And we do get to the Dragon Claw, but my opponent gets to another Ice Punch. I'm going to go ahead and take this. I do think I shield one, but yeah, it was a CMP type. Going to go ahead and go for that Dragon Claw. Just want to get damage off against the Poliwrath. I want to knock it out. He will shield it up. I'm trying to feint down this Poliwrath. I really want to knock it out. So I will go ahead and shield this attack. Going to be an Ice Punch. And we do get to a Dragon Claw. Trying to knock out this Poliwrath because I want my Swampert to come in and not have to deal with it, you know. So I want to be able to feint it. And we lag a little bit, but he does get off another Ice Punch. Now, this is still not enough to knock out Giratina, I don't think. No, Giratina still survives it. He switches into Charizard. Couldn't get to the Ancient Power. It doesn't matter anyway. I'm going to go ahead and go for the Dragon Claw to knock out the Charizard. Back comes that Poliwrath, and we're able to feint it. Or my opponent runs. I'm not really sure which one. But either way, we go ahead and win that. So really good game. So for the next match, it's my Shiny Swampert versus Reggie Steele. So as I said, I do see a lot of Reggie Steele leads, which is another reason I really like the Swampert lead. So she's going to go ahead and bail into Giratina Origin. Now, after the Omnis Wind nerf, I don't think we're going to be seeing Giratina Origin probably at all, to be honest with you. But this Pokemon is kind of difficult to deal with for me in general because I do have the Earthquake, which does good amount of damage to Origin form. So I'm not going to go ahead and switch out. I guess I could have switched out into Giratina Altered, and I would have had Dragon Breath to do a lot of damage. So that's what I'm going to do now. But maybe I should have done that without throwing a couple Earthquakes. But at least we took both shields, so I'm actually okay with that. So I'm going to go ahead and get to the Dragon Claw, hoping to knock out this Giratina. And I believe the Giratina actually survives. It does survive. and it gets off a charge attack. I'm going to let it go through, hoping that it's an ominous wind. It's actually a Shadow Ball, so that's going to be enough to knock us out. So yeah, this Giratina giving me some trouble because all my Mewtwo going to be weak to it, right? Going to be weak to that Shadow Ball. In comes Reggie Steele, and that's interesting. So I'm actually okay with this because you know we have the Dynamic Punch. So I'm just going to go ahead, get to the Dynamic Punch. Now, to be fair, this doesn't do that much. It does good damage. I mean, it's okay. You know, but either way, we're going to bring in Swampert, and she's going to switch into a Swampert of her own. Because she has no shields, we're going to straight for that Earthquake. Want to get massive damage off against this Swampert. Trying to get to a Hydro Cannon. You know, double Hydro Cannon against Swampert I think is actually better. So that was probably a mistake, but it's okay. We're going to let Swampert fall, bring in my Armored Mewtwo, and I'm trying to feint the Swampert with Confusions. I do go ahead and shield. Do not want to take this attack. Going to be a Hydro Cannon. Can we feint this Swampert before it gets off another one? Yes, we can. So we're going to be able to, and we click on that Dynamic Punch. Now, this I don't think is enough to knock out Reggie Steele. It takes more than 2 Dynamic Punches. Maybe if we got an Excellent, but we didn't get an Excellent because the fighting animation is difficult. But we're still able to take this Flash Cannon, and we're going to be able to feint down that Reggie Steele. Another Flash Cannon would have knocked us out, but we're able to take that one. So jumping into the next game, another rank 10 player, so really cool. So this is not a good lead for us, but I do decide to just switch into my Giratina, hoping they don't have a Charm user, well, or Reggie Steele. Unfortunately, they do. So I could have stayed in maybe with Swampert and went for Earthquake, but I decided to switch. I'm going for the boost. This is a way for Giratina to beat Reggie Steele. Now, as I've mentioned already, you can't. Ancient Power is not going to be as good anymore. So I don't know if people are going to really be running it. I guess we'll have to see. But I'm going to go for another Ancient Power right now, hoping for the boost, hoping this is last chance. We do not get it, so that's unfortunate, but we still did a lot of damage to that Reggie Steele, didn't we? So I'm okay. Flash Cannon will knock us out. Actually, it doesn't. We got to a Dragon Claw, it just wasn't fast enough. So I'm going to go ahead and bring in my Swampert. We cannot get off that Hydro Cannon before a charge attack comes off. I was expecting Flash Cannon. It's Focus Blast. If I was expecting Focus Blast, I probably would have shielded that, but it's okay. It happens. Going to go for that Hydro Cannon. That actually is not enough, so he does switch into Giratina and go for a charge attack. Really well played on my opponent's end. My opponent is playing really well. So I'm going to switch into my Mewtwo. This is definitely probably a lost game. Yeah, I didn't see any way to come back. Now, I've had a couple people ask why I back out of games before it's over, and the reason for that is because a lot of the games are going to drag on. For example, this game, I wasn't 100% ready to forfeit this game because I still thought there was a decent, like a small chance, but a chance I could have won. But I didn't think I was going to win, so I could have backed out and moved on to the next one to save myself some time. And if you take a look at this game is just going on forever because we're using really bulky Pokemon. So is he, besides the Swampert, right? So it's just taking a long time, whereas I could have backed out and moved on to the next game just so I can get other things done as well. That's just generally sometimes why I back out early from matches, if I know I'm going to lose, or at least if I think I'm going to. But either way, I don't think I would have backed out this like as early as it was. But I probably would have backed out by now because there's no way. I mean, he still has a shield. He's going to shield that. He's going to get off a Hydro Cannon. And this is going to be a loss, which is totally fine. Yeah, that's generally why I do back out early sometimes. So we're going to go ahead and lose that. So good game to my opponent. So let's jump into the next game. I do lead with Swampert into a Purified Snorlax. Now, Purified Pokemon do not have a boost. Shadow Pokemon do. So we'll have to see what happens. I am going to go ahead and charge up to that Earthquake and go for the Hydro Cannons. Now, Snorlax is ultra bulky, right? It really is. So we're going to need a few of these Hydro Cannons, but at least we can get off 2 of them really fast. So we do get off another one. And we just need 1 more now. Now, Snorlax is going to be able to get to a charge attack. I believe this is enough for Earthquake. I risk the bait. Going to be that Body Slam, so we do call that one correctly. Excuse me. So I'm going to go ahead and shield this one because I want to get to a Hydro Cannon and knock out this Snorlax. So we are going to go ahead and get to, we're actually almost at another one. So this Snorlax is going to, actually it's going to shield. And when I saw that, I was really excited because I knew that Snorlax we would beat the Snorlax to the charge move. However, he switches into something, into an opposing Swampert. So when I saw the opposing Swampert, I was like, at least it's not something that resists Hydro Cannon, right? So we actually get off another one against the Swampert. That will be shielded, and now this Swampert will go for a charge attack. Going to be a Hydro Cannon, and that is definitely going to knock us out. I'm going to be okay with that. We do bring in my Giratina, trying to feint down. I do get to the Dragon Claw, just don't go for it. I'm going to go ahead and take this attack. It will be a Hydro Cannon. That may have been a bluff, or maybe he didn't get to the Earthquake. I'm not sure. But either way, I was okay with even taking an Earthquake. So we're going to be able to feint down this Swampert with Dragon Breath, and we'll wait to see what comes in. Going to be a Gyarados. So very interesting. We do go for that Ancient Power. Super effective damage. Because Gyarados is part flying. It's not enough to knock it out, totally fine. I do know Gyarados has, let's see, in comes Snorlax. So Snorlax, I'm not going to shield this. I know it's Body Slam. Giratina can take it. So there's no way I'm going to shield that. We could easily take it. I try to feint him down. We do successfully feint him down. And we go for the Dragon Claw. Actually, he gets off a charge attack, so I will shield. But it's going to be a Twisted, totally fine. And then I'm going to get off my Dragon Claw that was a CMP tie. And this is going to be enough to knock out that Gyarados. So I see Gyarados occasionally. It's not a super common Pokemon, but I do see it. I think it's pretty interesting. So good game. So for the next match, it's my Swampert versus Togekiss. So in this matchup, I just stay in this matchup because both of its charge moves that it usually carries, Flamethrower and Ancient Power, we do resist. Although we are taking massive damage from Charm. So I'm going to go ahead and go for the Hydro Cannons. And we're trying to get to another one. We do get to it. This is not enough to knock out the Togekiss, I don't think. But he will go ahead and shield that. Trying to get to one more before we feint. Luckily for us, he throws the energy because I think he would have feinted us. Actually, I risk it. Never mind, that's right, I forgot I risk it. We get to the Hydro Cannon, but we can't get to it. So I think that was a mistake, to be honest with you. But that's okay. It happens. So now in comes... So my Armored Mewtwo is in against this Togekiss, going to go for the Ancient Power, perhaps going for the boost. We're taking a lot of damage, but I'm just committing to farming down this Togekiss. So look, Armored Mewtwo is already down. I definitely think I made a mistake with that Pokemon, with that Swampert. I shouldn't have shielded that attack. I should have just let it fall. I tried to get to another Hydro Cannon, but that's okay. So out comes the Moonblast, going to do a lot of damage. Yeah, I'm already looking at this game as a loss, but we're still fighting. Going to go ahead and go for the Ancient Power. That is not going to do much. We're just going for the boost, right? I mean, that's what we're doing with Giratina at this point. Of course, Ancient Power did get nerfed. Okay, happening. So we do go for the Ancient Power against the Swampert. Not going to do much, but again, fishing for that boost. We do get to a Dragon Claw, but unfortunately he gets to a charge attack, a Hydro Cannon before we're able to. I believe it's a Hydro Cannon. No, it's an Earthquake. Never mind. So I do go ahead and surrender that because we lost. So really good game to my opponent. So let's see, the next match is my Swampert versus the Reggie Steele. So Swampert, as you know, has a huge advantage. In comes Giratina. This one I decided to stay in. I could have switched into my opposing Giratina, but I'm like, let's go for Earthquake. So we're going to take this Dragon Claw. So, okay, after the Dragon Claw, I do switch into Giratina. So going to go ahead and go for more Dragon Claws. Giratina is so bulky, so we could take it. But it does get to it really fast, so I'm going to go ahead and go for my Dragon Claw now. We do have Dragon Breath, which is doing a lot of damage to the opposing Giratina. So that's good. We're doing a good amount of damage. Out comes another Dragon Claw. I know we could take it. I wasn't sure if I could feint him down before he is able to get to another one, though. We're trying to so hard. I want to feint it. We do feint it. We do feint it. He must have just gotten to Dragon Claw, honestly. So let's see what comes in. I'm going to go for Ancient Power. I don't even know what came in. I have no idea. Like, the thing is, I don't even know if I want to get the switch window open because I have no idea what came in. So anyway, it's the Reggie Steele. I'm going to go ahead and just stay in because I don't want to get switch locked. So I bring in Swampert and go for the bait. I go for the Hydro Cannon, hoping to pick up the last shield. We do get it. So that's good for us. And now I go for the Hydro Cannon again. No idea what is coming in. It is going to be that Cresselia, shiny Cresselia. So I switch into Armored Mewtwo. You see, that was a bad switch But the problem is I had no idea what came in, right? So I didn't really have that second to think about it, or the few seconds to think about what I wanted, if I wanted to switch when I was doing my charge attack. If I knew it was Cresselia, I could have realized that no, I don't want to switch into Armored Mewtwo. But so that was just like kind of like I was getting ready to switch and I just clicked on it. You know what I'm saying? So that's one problem I have with it. So the Moonblast coming out. We're trying to get to a Side Strike. We do get to it. So we're trying to do a lot of damage to this Cresselia. Both of the moves are resisted. Out comes Reggie Steele, going to go ahead and go for that Flash Cannon. I actually let it go through. I could have shielded that. And then I bring in my Swampert. I just want to save my shields for Swampert. So let's see. Now I have to shield. It doesn't even. I'm expecting the bait, the Flash Cannon. It is, but it would have gotten us so low. I had to shield. So I am going to go ahead and go straight for that Earthquake, hoping he would think it was a bait and not shield this one up. And that's exactly what happens. We do win that one. In comes the shiny Cresselia. Now we go for the Hydro Cannon, and now the game is sealed. This Hydro Cannon will come out, and it will be shielded. Totally fine, totally fine. So I'm going to go ahead and shield this attack from Cresselia, and we just need to get to my charge attack, which is going to be a Hydro Cannon. So we do get to it. And this is going to be enough to knock out that Cresselia. So we do win that despite that bad switch, but yeah. Anyway, we're about 30 minutes in, as I said. We have about another 20 minutes, 18 minutes. But we're going up against another ranked 10 player. So that's really exciting. Giratina Origin Form. So I think I just stay in and go straight for the Earthquake. This is going to do more to the Origin Form than the Altered Form because it's not as bulky, especially in the Ultra League. Shadow Ball hitting us, doing a lot of damage. Unfortunately, it wasn't the ominous win, but that's okay. Going to go ahead and go for the Earthquake. Trying to get a lot of damage off against this Giratina. That goes unshielded. Now we get to the Hydro Cannon, which I'm pretty sure this is enough to knock it out unless if it goes shielded. He will shield it up. So that's fine. Going to go ahead and go for a charge attack. I let it go through because I don't think I could get to another Hydro Cannon. So we will fall. And I do have my Mewtwo and Giratina. I do decide to bring in my Giratina. And we fainted with Dragon Breath before I can get to an ominous win. So that's good. In comes the Reggie Steele, which is not good, but so I'm going to go ahead and go for the Ancient Power. I think I might try and switch, I'm not sure. I do decide to switch, so we do switch into the Flash Cannon, which is fine. I'm okay with it going into Armored Mewtwo. And we're trying to get to a Dynamic Punch. He switches into Cresselia. Unfortunately, another Cresselia in the back. I don't see Cresselia too often, but now it's starting to make an appearance, so... It's not really good to see that Cresselia, but it's okay. We're going to still fight it out to see. I mean, if we get that Ancient Power boost, anything is possible. So it is possible to win. We're just going to go ahead and go for these Side Strikes. I mean, this is just a long, drawn-out match, Armored Mewtwo versus Cresselia. I should have sped up these parts, but I didn't. So this charge attack will come through. I actually go ahead and shield it. I want to get that Cresselia low. So I'm going to go ahead and shield it, save my energy, and switch into my Giratina, trying to do a lot of damage, maybe get an Ancient Power boost. If we do get that boost, anything is possible. So we do get the boost, and I'm like, yeah, I'm definitely shielding that. Can you believe that? I cannot believe that. So that obviously that wouldn't have taken us out, but it would have done a lot. In comes that Reggie Steele trying to knock us out. I just go for Dragon Claws. I guess I could have went for another boost, but I'm just going for Dragon Claws at this point. Just to try and do as much damage, actually to knock out the Reggie Steele. I want to try and knock it out. So Flash Cannon comes in. We're able to take that because of we could have taken it anyway, but we're able to take it a lot better because of the boost. Gonna go ahead and go for the Dragon Claw. Remember, we still have an Armored Mewtwo with energy in the back, so he's gonna go ahead and get off that Flash Cannon. So he just wants to knock out my Giratina at this point. Totally makes sense. I bring in my Armored Mewtwo. We give up the boost, but we bring in the Mewtwo to knock it out with Dynamic Punch. As we do, in comes that Cresselia, and we're able to farm down. Look at the timer. We're actually almost out of time, but that's okay. We are able to win this game thanks to the boost. There's no doubt in my mind I wouldn't have won if it wasn't for Ancient Power, but we are able to win it. So the next is going to be a Swampert mirror match. So is this the one I think this is the one. Oh, no, it's not. Never mind. I think that's in this video. I kind of make a mistake in the Swampert mirror match, but we'll see that if it's in this video. I go for the Hydro Cannon against this shiny Cresselia. We have back-to-back Hydro Cannon, so we're going to go for it. We're going to go for those double Hydro Cannon attacks. Doing a good amount of damage to Cresselia. Trying to get to another one. We actually do get to it. Now, I do believe this Cresselia is running Confusion. Is that what I saw? No, it's Psycho Cut. Okay, I did face one Cresselia that ran Confusion. So I did decide to shield this Aurora Beam up because I want to win the lead advantage, and we do go for the Hydro Cannon. Wasn't sure if he would decide to shield up the Cresselia or not. He does. So he is also able to get to another charge attack, but I'm going to go ahead and shield it because I want to win switch advantage. So I'm going to go ahead and shield that, and he actually switches into his own Swampert to go for the Hydro Cannon. So that was a nice play. He's able to take my last shield and then knock me out anyway. But I'm going to bring in my Giratina just to try and knock out this Swampert. Going for Dragon Claws. We want to knock it out. We definitely want to knock it out. So that Dragon Claw is going to connect. And now obviously I'm assuming it's going to be Earthquake. There's no reason to bait, right? So it is Earthquake. So just going to do about 50%. That's okay. I mean, it's not okay, but there's nothing we could do about it. Going to go ahead and go for a charge attack. I was thinking this was probably Hydro Cannon. It seemed really fast. It is. Not enough to knock us out, though. So we're going to go ahead and go for the Dragon Claw. I wanted to try and farm down, but I didn't think I could. So I'm going to go ahead and go for the Dragon Claw to knock out the Swampert. In comes the opposing Giratina to feint me. And now I'm going to go ahead and go for... well, I have to go for Armored Mewtwo. It's the last Pokemon I have. So this is definitely not looking good for me because he still has a shield. So I'm going to go ahead and go for that Dragon Claw. The damage does add up. I'm going to go ahead and go for my Psy Strike. I figured this would probably be shielded. It is. But yeah, I don't think I back out of this one early. Let's see if maybe I do. I don't know. So Dragon Claw coming in, hitting my Armored Mewtwo. We're trying to get to Psy Strike. It doesn't matter. You know, we probably could have gotten to it, but we would have lost this game anyway. So good game. So Armored Mewtwo is going to fall, and we're going to take an L for that one. So we're going to go ahead and move on to the next game. Let's see what happens in this game. Maybe we could win this one. So it's going to be my Shiny Swampert versus Lucario. So when I saw that Lucario, I was in awe because not because of Lucario. Lucario is a great Pokemon. I just wanted the Shiny. But anyway, I didn't know how to respond to Gyarados. I knew Swampert had to come out, but I also know that Gyarados packs Crunch, so I didn't know if I should bring in my Armored Mewtwo or Giratina, both of which are weak to Crunch. So I just bring in my Armored Mewtwo. So we're going to go for the Psy Strike. It will be shielded up. And this Dragon Breath is almost about to feint me. A Crunch would, so I am going to go ahead and shield this because I was pretty confident I could get to a Psy Strike. So we get to it. Yes, we do. We do get to it. So at least we get to that Psy Strike. This is going to be shielded. So the Gyarados will win that lead. But to me, that is okay because we took both shields. I do go for the Hydro Cannon, but unfortunately, that Gyarados wins CMP and it is able to get off a Crunch before we're able to get off this Hydro Cannon. But it is what it is. So Hydro Cannon is resisted, but it's still going to be enough to knock out Gyarados. In comes Lucario. All I have to do is go for this Earthquake. We actually get to it. Now keep in mind, I still have a shield, so I could have shielded a charge attack. That's why I was so confident in going for it. And now out comes that Alolan Muck, and I don't think I can get to the Earthquake. So I'm going to go ahead and go for the Hydro Cannon, just doing as much damage as possible. And now I bring in my Giratina, which is weak to Dark Pulse. However, I know Giratina can take a Dark Pulse. So I'm going to go ahead and shield this one up because we still have a shield and we get to the Dragon Claw. But even if it got to another Dark Pulse, we could have still taken it. So I'm going to go ahead and... Actually, he does get to it because we don't feint that Alolan Muck with my charge attack. And as you can see, we do take it, but we're still able to pull that one off. So we do win that one. So very nice, very nice. So let's jump into the next game. About 10 minutes left, guys. Bear with me. So this is not really a good matchup for us, Lapras. So we're going to go ahead and I think I just charge up a little bit and then switch into my Armored Mewtwo. I know this is going to be a Surf, so we're going to be able to take it. It is. So Armored Mewtwo can definitely take it. We do have that Dynamic Punch. Lapras is deciding to stay in. That's totally fine. So we're going to be able to go for the Dynamic Punch. And does a good amount of damage. I mean, we just need one. Well, technically, we only need a Psy Strike. So that's pretty good for us. The Surf will hit, but it's not going to do much. We could still take another one, actually, but we do get to the Side Strike. So let's see if he wants to commit a shield or if he wants to let Lapras go down, and Lapras will fall. So that's really good for us. Yeah, I love Armored Mewtwo for the surprise factor. People really don't know how to respond to it or what to expect. So the Swampert comes in. Unfortunately, he does get to a Hydro Cannon before we get to a Side Strike. So I am going to go ahead and shield this because I want that damage to go off against the Swampert. So this is going to do some good damage, some pretty good damage to that Swampert. Not enough to knock it out, but he's not going to be able to farm us down, so he's going to have to use his energy against my Armored Mewtwo. I could have shielded and farmed it down with Confusion, but I decided not to. So I am going to go ahead and bring in my Giratina to try and feint with Dragon Breath, but he will switch into Togekiss. And I'm like, okay, we got to bail, but first I have to go, well, I don't have to, but I want to go for this Ancient Power to do a lot of damage to that Togekiss. It actually goes unshielded. This guy still has 2 shields. I cannot believe he didn't shield any of these attacks yet, but we're going to go ahead and go for Hydro Cannon. That one is going to be shielded. I guess saving it for the late game, but he does decide to back out, so good game. I guess he figured I won. So we're going up against my next opponent. This opponent, she is on my Discord, so thank you so much for being a part of my Discord. If you'd like to join, link in the description down below. And she is rocking in Escavalier, and I've battled her a couple times before, and I think it's always the same thing. It's always Escavalier, and I always have trouble with it. So maybe Escavalier is good for the Ultra League. She's going to go ahead and take it. I wish I went for the Earthquake, I guess. I guess Hydro Cannon is fine. Aerial Ace is going to come out, and we're going to go for another Hydro Cannon. Does she let Escavalier go down, or is she going to shield? We'll find out. She does shield. So she's going to get to another charge attack. I am going to go ahead and shield this because I want to get to the Hydro Cannon and win switch advantage. So we do get to it. We do get to it, and I wasn't sure if she would shield this one or not. She does decide to shield it. I guess she really wants to win switch advantage, and she actually has energy charged up. Unfortunately, we can't get to another one. But we do have a shield remaining, so I'm going to bring in my Giratina, and I'm going to take this attack. I believe she goes for Mega Horn. She does. Okay, so we do resist that. It does a decent amount, but we are able to resist it. So, hey, she's out of shield, so that's good. She does have switch advantage, though. In comes Reggie Steele, so I bail into my Armored Mewtwo. She's going to bail into Swampert. So, unfortunately, if I had one switch advantage, I feel like this game would go a little bit differently, but we didn't. And she played really well as well. So we're going to go for that Side Strike. It does a good amount of damage. Out comes the charge attack from Swampert. Going to be an Earthquake, going for a lot of damage. I guess I should have shielded that, but I decided not to because, I don't know, I wanted to save it for late game. It's going to be a Hydro Cannon. Now I'm shielding the Hydro Cannon, but we do feint the Swampert, and out comes that Reggie Steele. I'm like, maybe we have a chance. I don't know how much energy that Reggie Steele has. We only get a grade, but even another Dynamic Punch is not going to be able to knock out this Reggie Steele. So the Flash Cannon is going to hit my Armored Mewtwo. That will be enough to knock us out. In comes my Giratina, and if we had gotten off one more, just one more Dynamic Punch, we would have won this game, but because we didn't, we're not going to be able to win this one. She is going to go ahead and go for that Flash Cannon, and this Flash Cannon will do a decent amount. She just needs one more. I'm going to go ahead and go for Dragon Claw, but this Dragon Claw is just not going to be enough. It's just not, unfortunately. So Dragon Claw doing not much at all, and Dragon Breath is not going to be able to feint the Reggie Steele, so she's going to pull this game off. So really well played on my opponent's end, and thank you for being a part of the Discord. I really do appreciate it. So we're jumping into another game. Almost done, guys, I promise. So it's going to be a Swampert mirror match. This might be the one where I make the mistake. If it's not, I'll tell you what the mistake is. So we're just charging up. He's going to go ahead and get off the Hydro Cannon. So I know this is a Hydro Cannon because he didn't charge up enough for an Earthquake. But he would have went for, you would have went for a Hydro Cannon anyway. So I do get off my Hydro Cannon. And that is going to go unshielded, totally fine. We do get off another one. And this is definitely going to be shielded. Yes, it is. So let's see if we can get to another one. He will go for a charge attack, and I'm going to go ahead and shield that. So it is a Hydro Cannon. And we do get to another one, and I'm going to go ahead and go for it. Expecting the shield, I wasn't sure. I thought that he would probably shield this one. Wants to win switch advantage. So I'm going to go ahead and follow suit and shield this one. So that's going to be a Hydro Cannon. Would have knocked us out. Now, is this the one where I make the mistake? Yes, it is. I wasn't clicking on Hydro Cannon because I thought most of the time my Swampert wins CMP because it has like really good attack. It's not perfect PvP IVs. So I was expecting him to try and pull a switch. So I wasn't clicking on the Hydro Cannon. I was waiting for the switch. And so he actually doesn't go for the switch. He goes straight for that Hydro Cannon and is able to knock me out. So yeah. I mean, I thought he would try and pull a switch to catch a Hydro Cannon with something in the back, but obviously he just knocked me out. So, you know, it is what it is. It happens. I'm going to go ahead and switch into Snorlax. When I saw Snorlax, I'm still going to go ahead and go for that Dynamic Punch. So, again, it doesn't do a crazy amount. It does okay damage. These licks are adding up. I don't think I could have gotten to another Side Strike, so I'm going to go ahead and go for this Side Strike. Or I get to another Dynamic Punch, excuse me. So I do bring in my Giratina. This is going to be a charge attack. Obviously, hopefully it's Body Slam. It's not, it's Earthquake. So doing a decent amount. We're still able to take it though, of course. And out comes a Alolan Muk. This is definitely going to knock out Giratina. Dark Pulse does a lot to a Giratina. So it is able to knock us out, and we're going to lose that game, but that was a really good one. That was a close one as well. Maybe it would have been different if I just went for the Hydro Cannon in the beginning, but it's okay. It is what it is. So for the next matchup, Empoleon versus my Swampert. So interesting. So I believe, yeah, I'm just going straight Earthquake. He does get to a Hydro Cannon and I do shield. I could have bluffed with the Hydro Cannon, but I'm like, maybe he'll call the bluff. I'll just go for the Earthquake. Usually people bluff in situations like this since I shielded, you know, but no, he still decides to shield. So nice play on my opponent's end. And I'm going for the Earthquake again. We do get to it before he gets to a Hydro Cannon. So that will be shielded as well. He doesn't want to take any chances, so obviously it worked out for him. So I'm going to go ahead and hit us with a Hydro Cannon that will knock out my Swampert. And I do let it go through. I could have shielded, but I was afraid I wouldn't get to another Earthquake before we would take it out. So I am going to go ahead and go for the Ancient Power. This is going to be resisted, but again, I'm just fishing for the boost. We're really not in a good position, although he does go ahead and switch into his own Giratina. So I'm going to go ahead and go for the Dragon Claw right now. And that Dragon Claw will connect. He's going to go ahead and go for the Dragon Claw. I will commit my last shield against this Dragon Claw because I don't want to be knocked out. And we're trying to get to another one. He's out of shield, so am I. We get to it. So this is definitely going to be enough to knock out the opposing Giratina. As it is, so Giratina does go down. And let's see what decides to come in. What is it going to be? It is going to be a Clefable. So unfortunately, he does feint us down with Charm. We have an Almond Mewtwo. I need a couple of Side Strikes. He's going to be able to get to a Charge Attack. Unfortunately, in comes that Empoleon just to do damage to us with that Hydro Cannon. And we do go for the Side Strike because I guess I just clicked on it. I don't know. But Side Strike, actually not enough. One more Confusion is going to be enough because Empoleon does resist it. Out comes Clefable, and it's just going to be enough damage with that Charge Attack, plus more Charms anyway. And yeah, so that's going to be it for this video, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Have a good day. Bye. Thank you so much for checking out my latest video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and don't forget to follow me on Twitter. If you like this video, check out one of my other videos that you'll probably enjoy.